My name is Regine May R. Dayo, and our topic is all about Shein Company. So, to start with, I am going to introduce our company's back. This is the history of Shein Company. Shein is a B2C rapid fashion company launched in 2008 by Nanjing Linshan Information Technology Corporation. Chris Su founded the company, which is based in China. It specializes in both men's and women's clothing. Shein also sells children's clothing, accessories, bags, and shoes, among others. This is the age of quick fashion, when individuals prefer to buy expensive apparels and accessories rather than premium names. As a result, the fast fashion business is exploding. Shein is extremely popular among individuals of all ages, particularly Generation Z, which is obsessed with all things trendy. Almost every fashion vlogger and blogger has posted or filmed something on Shein at some point. Why? It is simply due to the trendy and economical clothing that Shein provides to its global client without compromising on quality. This is the vision of the Shein Company. Shein aims to provide the highest value trendy pieces while also being dedicated to quality, value, and services as per the vision of. This is the mission of Shein Company. Shein mission is to serve as a leader in the industry and bring fashion in the modern era. We employ cutting edge technologies and processes in our design and sourcing to stay well informed of what is in demand by customers, produce goods in a timely manner, and deliver the products quickly to anywhere in the world. By developing proprietary logistic and e-commerce technology, we are disrupting the fashion space and providing outcomes for manufacturers, suppliers, and consumers. This is the goals of Shein Company. To satisfy demand, we establish a total digital supply chain that delivers product to our clients worldwide, effortlessly and quickly. To order in small batches, we employ proprietary software to track sales and communicate with our suppliers in real time. If you are one of the customers of Shein Company, you have the right to know the background and issues of our company. This is the comments and reviews and suggestions of Shein Company.
Good morning, everyone. I am Regina Ramirez Ciclot. So today I would like to share my kanang idea about what happens or what's wrong with Shein. So it's rather amazing kanang when you look at some of different brands no and is statistic brands. So the Shein is released according to their CEO Molly Meow that in a day or in a per day they release a product or items between 700 to 1000 product or items. So according to Shein that each product is only made the small quantities between the 50 to 100 pieces, so reducing amount of wasted of raw materials. So a product is produced greater in quantities when it becomes too popular. So every day, Shein was produce adds about 1,000 new products to their websites. But however, even a product made of a modest scale adds to waste and carbon emissions. But according to the aforementioned figures and the cautions estimates that at least 35,000 products are still created per day and a worth of 100,000 pesos. The next I will share to you is the impact. Yes, the impact of fast fashion of the environment of Shein. So the fast fashion industry uses about 100 million tons of annual oil annually and contributes more than 10% of carbon emissions. So a significant portion of these figures comes from virgin polyesters, also known brand new product, or this is the productions levels have increased, yes, by double since 2000. So production of an years of the Shein is um, the production of the Shein, its levels have increased. Yes, they are increasing by since 2000. Then, once a year, worth of polyester produce 700 million tons of carbon dioxide yearly, so which is equivalent to 180 coal-fired power plants. So, by the year of 2030, this will, according to the reports, might quadruple once more. So, the primary cause of global warming is carbon emissions rather, which means that every ton of carbon dioxide released into the atmosphere renders our planet less habitable. So the sequence of our changing climate have been painfully obvious, diba? In recent months, from deadly floods and hurricanes to wildfires and heat waves that destroys entire towns. So according to the most recent IPCC, or the climate change report, global warming must be limited to 1.5 degrees Celsius to prevent a climate disaster. So that's the impact of fashions on the environment. Then next we have the Shein have the ethical code. So the Shein have an ethical code. First is we also practice fair labor. So the Shein never ever engage a child forced labor according to the research. According to them that there are no child labor. So if according to Shein, if any of other partners violates labor laws or fall of meet us standards, they are terminate and report them immediately to take the steps further. So they are probably proactive campaigns against unethical practices such as the presence and intended labor, and support the organizations that fight and them. The next ethical code, which is the second one, is our people, our family. So our priority is to ensure the happy and healthy working environment, of course. So that means everyone is treated with respect, with love also. And we have there are no tolerance for discrimination and physical, sexual, psychological, or verbal harassment. Or any kind of discriminations. Next, we have they also make sure that the office or the factories are to safely standard and designed to minimize injury and illness. And moreover, we constantly test our products to ensure they are free standards materials that could be dangerous to our employees and customers also. The next one is the fair pay for all. So we are proud to say, they are proud to say that our wages and benefits are above the industry average. So because they believe that people deserve a living wage and benefits such as health insurance, investment plans. So and of course, all our vendors must do the same. So the Sheins treat all the employees like family, providing the leading work conditions, from offering above average salaries and benefits, so to building state-of-the-art factories and offices. We make sure that everyone can work in a safe, clean, and productive environment. They go on the list of their policies. First is no child or forced labor. Next is a safe working environment. Third one, paying a living wage. No harassment or abuse, unannounced the independent audits. So this is the standards used by the Shein by fair labor organization across the fashion industry. So including the which is respective factors certification. So that they said that and they don't say their factors are certified, they just say their compliance with it. So as a result, these claims really don't mean anything as no independent body has confirmed them. It's important to note that every brand can afford to get certified. It's important to note that every brand can afford to get certified, but Shein is a big enough corporation that it has no resources to get certified. If we were actually ethical, so the policies they are great, and they are one of the expect from ethical brand. The problem is that they have no one back them on these claims. So workers doing 75 hours in unsafe conditions such as no fire exits. So beyond that, Shein has been known to.
Good morning, everyone. I am Merjo Pini Isadera, and we will talk about the some list of Shein and environmental measures. One is the limited quantity. They claim to produce in a small quantities of 50 to 100, which reduces waste. The language is ambiguous again. Do they mean 50 to 100 pieces per style or 50 to 100 pieces per time? Even if it were the former, that's still unsustainable skill if you have thousands and thousands of items of your website. The next is digital screen printing. I cannot find an unbiased source about the sustainability of digital screen printing, but it seems to be less harmful than regular screen printing. Even so, Shein does not state how much they use this method. They can simply say they have begun an innovative digital screen technology to print graphics and patterns onto fabrics. This could be a super small percentage. And the last part is recycling program. Shein offers recycling clothes at college pop-up events. And participants get Shein gift cards. I actually see recycling program as a form of greenwashing when the fast fashion companies implement them without real sustainability measures. Recycling can be used to alleviate guilt for overconsumption. If your clothes are recycled, you can just buy some more, right? Shein also is not transparent about what is happening to the clothing. How much of it is being recycled or resold, and what is being recycled into. I will not be surprised if it is just ended up being trashed. Shein claims about sustainable production. Shein fails to cover info about many other more important environmental practices, including 1. Material. Brands should OPT in organic, natural, or recycling materials. Shein clothing is largely made up of virgin synthetic like polyester, which made up of plastic and fossil fuels. The next is dyes. Many dyes are toxic to humans and the environment. Truly sustainable brands will be the Yokotex certified to ensure that the clothes are free for harmful chemicals. Animal products. It doesn't look like Shein uses leather and fur, but they do have down jackets. They have no certification responsible for down, and no non-synthetic or recyclable vegan alternative. Their fake leather and fur is also virgin synthetics or PU leather, which is made up of plastic. The third is water and textile waste. Does the brand recycle water for production process? Do they use low waste cutting techniques? The fourth is quality. Are the clothes made at last? Many of Shein's pieces fall apart after just a few wears. And the fifth is packaging. Shein packages every piece in a plastic bag. Shein Supplier Code of Conduct. Leg 1 is legal requirements. All supplier partners must operate in full compliance with local rules, laws, governmental orders, and regulatory requirements in the countries or regions where they operate their business. Second is employee must be voluntary. Supplier partners must not use forced labor, including prison labor, bonded labor, or other forms of labor, and comply with the International Labor Organization's Convention on Forced Labor. The next is employees must be over 16 years old. Supplier partners shall not hire minors under age 16 if supplier partners have any employees that are older than 16 years of age, but under 18 years of age. Supplier partners shall not require them to engage in work in any protection that is harmful to the body, and must provide such employees with necessary work protection. The fourth is no discrimination. Supplier partners shall not discriminate against their employees in terms of gender, race, religion, age, disability status, sexual orientation, pregnancy status, marital status, nationality, political opinion, union affiliation, social or ethnic background, or any other aspect against which such discrimination is prohibited under the applicable laws of relevant country or region. Discrimination includes, but is not limited to, the establishment of any unreasonable obstacles or restriction in employment, salary, promotion, or discipline. The five is respect for freedom of association and collective bargaining between labor and management. Supplier partners should respect employees' freedom of association and the right to collective bargaining between employees and management. Employees have the right to form and join trade unions and other workers' organizations of their own choosing, and they shall not be subject to any harassment, interference, or retaliation for the foregoing actions. The sixth is pay salary on time. Supplier partners shall pay employees' wages on time, and the amount of wages shall not be lower than the minimum wage required by the laws of the country or region where the supplier's partners are located, and comply with the legal requirements for overtime compensation. There shall not be disciplinary deduction from wage payment.
My first topic is all about Shein Supplier Code of Conduct. First is no harassment or abuse of employees. Suppliers' partners shall treat employees with respect and dignity, and shall not harass or abuse their employees physically, sexually, and mentally and verbally. The second is working hours. Suppliers' partners shall arrange working hours reasonably and shall comply with local laws and regulations. Third is workplace health and safety. Suppliers' partners shall provide a safe, hygienic, and healthy workplace environment and take necessary measures to prevent employees from accidents and injuries arising out of or related to work in course of this service. The fourth is minimize impact of the environment. Supplier partners shall be strictly comply with applicable laws and regulations related to the environment protection, including exhaust emission, solid hazardous waste, and wastewater emission. Supplier partners must be adopt reasonable measures to reduce or mitigate the negative impact of their operation on the environment, and are committed to continuously improving the environment, protecting an environment, and maintaining ecological balance. The 5 is audit and supervision. The supplier partners understand, agree the regardless of whether prior notice is given. Shein as a designated agent entitled to take all reasonable and necessary measures to inspect and supervise their supplier partners in the course of its fulfillment and performance of this code of conduct. Such as measures include but are limited for interviews with the employees, workers of supplier partners. Interviewing the existing all the supplier partners' workplace, such as the reduction of workplace or workers, resident, and etc., and reviewing relevant documents and files of the suppliers, corresponding certification and materials. According to the company, request to prove that they have met the requirements of this code of conduct. The supplier partners represent and warrant that the supporting materials provided shall be true, accurate, complete, and non-misleading in items of the providing its satisfaction of the requirements of this code of conduct. And the last is improvement action. If a supplier partner is found to have violated this code of conduct, Shein will have the right but not obligation to negotiate a remediation plan with the supplier partners to resolve the violation with reasonable period of time. If the supplier partners fail to remediate within a reasonable time or refuse the rectify after receiving the remediation notice from Shein, Shein has the right to unfortunately cancel their order and immediately terminate all business cooperation with the supplier partners, and the company should not has a result of aforementioned of cancellation of order of termination of cooperation be listed for any form of breach of contract, infringement of damages. That's all my first topic. The next topic of Shein companies encounter different dilemmas. So first, laborers work in unsafe conditions for low wages and long hours. They report working 15 hours days as if they don't meet the quota of making 500 garments every day, they won't be paid or their wage will be docked. The use of listen to their quota at least 300 grams a day and paid if they work overtime in order their laborers to work productively and satisfied. They should lower in their quota in order for their workers to work without burden. Second is children are employed and forced labor. They are beyond the basic human rights and violent. They should only hire 18 years old above, and if they are forced to work underage, there will be a penalty. The third is they are exposed to caustic chemicals used in textile production that are highly toxic both to workers and the nature environment. They work in dangerous situations where satisfy may not be concerned. They should wear safety equipment like face masks that will cover those nose and practice proper disposal mechanism so that they can prevent harm to the environment. The fourth is Shein clothing is largely made in virgin synthetic like polyester, which are made from plastic and fossil fuels. Like any other brand, Shein company should be applied organic, natural, and recycled materials. The last one is they are not using eco-friendly materials. They should practice proper recycling so that they cannot cause harm to our environment. Packages every phases instead of using the plastic bag. They should use recycling materials that is eco-friendly. That's all my topic.
My takeaways from the Shein company is that they should first look at the safety of their environment, the people involved, and the animals living in different areas in the surroundings. Based on their ethical code, they state that no child was involved nor forced labor, but they do. Shein is one of the most harmful clothing companies that affect our environment in different ways because leather they use for their clothing is also plastic. We should stop them from their doings. We will spread the truth that they are. We deserve to know the history of their brand because we are the generations that will not tolerate wrongdoings. And as a future entrepreneur, I learned to give value to my laborers and to my customers. I will make sure to satisfy them with my products and with my company service.
Share to you my takeaways about the Shein company or the Shein corporations. So my takeaways about the Shein company is that Shein is the company who achieves success in the apparel industry by by collaborating directly with the producers. Yes, and they're quickly changing to meet customers' demand. And also Shein is it may be attempting to intimate the trendiness in a market where goods are typically made to last of many years before providing smaller, less expensive furnitures and home furnishing. Shein is a fantastic online retailer because uh, they offer they offer a wide variety of clothing options, numerous sizes and styles, uh, and super low prices of products of excellent quality. So when it comes to Shein, we are we are paying for low quality fast fashion. It does that is not always a bad thing. Shein also is online clothing retailer that everyone seems to shop nowadays, and their popularity is something no one can ever deny. Although their customer service and product quality are excellent, they do not know treat their staff fairly. They are practicing their practices sound great, but the lack of truth is the transparency leads Rome to wonder what the statements actually mean. So that could be all, and thank you.
A takeaway Shein company is about the Shein success can be attributed in a part to the fact that they sell goods at prices that are lower than those of Western brand while still being sold in the West. Online fashion trends have significant influence in Gen Z customer shopping decision, a characteristic that Shein expertly exploit. Shein is criticized for its unsustainable business practices and corporate social responsibility, but it nonetheless enjoy a popular because of its price-driven target market. Shein data integrated supply chain is a major factor in its ability to offer a minimum viable products and spot trend quickly. Although consumer trade for affordable e-commerce fashion made it possible, only Shein became well known among those customers. Shein's success showed that a lot of Gen Z customer value for more money and price should take precedency over brand name and quality. That's all my takeaways. Thank you.